Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to McKola TV. We are here for the preview of Manchester United against Chelsea. Another game at Old Trafford, a place where Manchester United have a 100% defeat record at home. Can you believe it? We've lost both of our home games already this season, scoring 3 goals, conceding 9. It is not pretty reading for Manchester United or their fans, or just anybody. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. But we've got a chance to turn it around in a big game against Chelsea. And we come into this one on the back of 2 away wins. That's 10 consecutive away wins in all competitions. A win at St James's Park in the Premier League to give us 3 points that we very much needed. And of course, a win in Paris, another win in Paris that has boosted the confidence of all associated to Manchester United. And of course, the game coming up is a big one. We can't afford to lose this game. You cannot afford to lose your opening 3 games at home in any league or any competition at all. You simply can't do it. You're throwing away 9 points so early on. You look at Spurs, we won that game last season. Palace, we lost that game last season. So we're already 3 points down on last season. And that should have been 3 points improvement on last season. Chelsea, we beat 4-0 in our opening fixture of the Premier League campaign last year as well. But, you know, different fixture, different Chelsea side, different attack we're coming up against. But it's a different Manchester United as well. Because in the opening game of last season, we didn't have Edinson Cavani. We didn't have Donny van de Beek. We didn't have Bruno Fernandes. We didn't have Alex Telles. But we did have Anthony Martial, who is out suspended for this game. Now, considering in his last game, he barely headed the ball in his own net. It's probably not a bad thing. And the game before that, slapping people and getting sent off. But on a serious note, obviously we're going to miss Anthony Martial, because I do think he offers something in that number 9 role. Even when he doesn't score, he's linking up with his teammates. He won the 2 penalties, the one against Spurs before it all went horribly wrong. And of course the penalty against PSG as well, which Bruno Fernandes scored at the second attempt. So he's still contributing to the team. It's just in that final third, in the 18-yard box, it hasn't been going right for him. And that obviously shows if you're going to be getting sent off and missing games in the league, when you already had no preseason and you're already probably lacking a little bit of match sharpness, then it's probably your own fault, you know what I mean? So we need him to be back playing, and he's going to have another opportunity against Red Bull Leipzig. But it could be an opportunity for Edinson Cavani to start this game and start it a big game as well for Man United. So big things to look forward to. I'll be having my predicted 11 come up on the screen. We'll be discussing everything that comes out of that game as well. Solskjaer against Lampard, the pressures on both managers, the quotes that have come out from the press conference as well. We'll be looking at those. So make sure you're keeping it locked to McKola TV. Make sure you're getting your thoughts in the comments as well. Whether you're watching live, I can see you guys in the comments that are watching live. Aaron, Ryan, Ross, Raymond, David, Nitin. I can see all you guys in the comments watching live as well. And of course, if you've tuned in later after we have been live, then thank you very much for doing that. Right now, we're very close to hitting that 90k mark. Now, we've trickled towards that line. We went from 80 to 89,000 so quick, but we've trickled between 89 to 90,000. We need to get over that line, get over 90,000 so we can set that target for when we are going to hit 100k and get that plaque on the wall right behind me. So, get your thoughts in, keep it locked. But first up, let's get the team news for this encounter. And I'm going to bring up the website just next to me, so excuse me while I look away from the screen and I'm not looking at you whilst I'm talking to you. But Manchester United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had provided an update on the squad ahead of Saturday's Premier League clash with Chelsea at Old Trafford. Maguire and Mason Greenwood will be given every chance to prove fitness after missing the midweek trip to Paris Saint-Germain. Jesse Lingard and Eric Bailly are unavailable due to injury. Anthony Martial is still suspended for this game. New striker Edinson Cavani is in contention to make the squad for the first time after training hard all week, with a possible debut for the ex-PSG star on the cards. Now, we've also got Facundo Palestri playing for the under-23s tonight. Now, I haven't got MUTV, so someone let me know what the score is as it's going on, and we'll definitely keep up to date with that as well while we're here. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said there's no fresh injuries to report, nothing that we've struggled with after the PSG game. Of course, there's tiredness of the travel and little aches and pain. Travel? We only went to Paris. It's not that far. Bloody hell. Tiredness of the travel and little aches and pains, but I think everyone should be ready for the weekend. We're still hoping Mason and Harry can be available in the squad. Of course, we have a training session today, which is Friday, so they're going to have to go through that. Eric Bailly won't be available. Jesse Lingard won't be available, so we'll manage without them for a few weeks, I think. Devastating that Eric Bailly's injured. Obviously, disappointed for Jesse Lingard as well, but with Eric Bailly's injury problems, proper disappointed for him that he's picked up another injury. We thought we got away with it when he was on international break, and he seemed to go down injured, but then he played 90 minutes after that, and unfortunately he is injured. Cavani has impressed with his desire to get match fit and his attitude to training since coming to the club as a free agent, and Ollie said he might be ready for the squad as well for this weekend. He's been training hard and been training well. I think he'll be available for this weekend. In regards to Chelsea, Blues boss Frank Lampard appears to only be without the services of young midfielder Billy Gilmore and Kepa Arrizabalaga, who has an injured shoulder. Probably a blessing in disguise for Chelsea that Kepa's not available. Edouard Mendy has already been given the nod to continue in goal, and all of the recent acquisitions should be available, including Brazilian centre-back Thiago Silva and former Ajax star Hakim Ziyech. And obviously, as we know, you've also got Bayern's Kai Havertz, Bayer Leverkusen's Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, who came from Red Bull Leipzig. They've got a fair few talented players, so we'll have to be wary for them. Although I don't rate Lampard as a manager particularly, I do rate some of their players, and we have to watch out for them because they're a solid team. And as we've seen, they're a little bit like Manchester United in that they score goals, they also leak goals as well. And that's why Axel Tuanzebe, I think, has to start this game. We saw a performance from Axel Tuanzebe, albeit in a defensive three, but we saw a performance from Axel Tuanzebe up against some of the best forward players in the world, in Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, Angel Di Maria, and we've seen him handle it with ease, having not played since December against Colchester. Now that could be a reason why he doesn't start, because it was his first 90 minutes since December, so that may play into him not playing. But if he is fit and ready to go, he has to play this game. It makes no sense trying to take him out. Going into the game against Paris Saint-Germain, Oli may have had it in his mind that I'll swap this guy for that guy in the next game. Forward thinking, as managers should do when picking their squads and picking their teams. And he probably thinks, Pogba will come back in against Chelsea. This guy will come back in against Chelsea. Thinking ahead. But Axel Tuanzebe should have changed his mind. He wasn't the only one against Paris Saint-Germain who should have changed his mind in terms of if Oli was thinking of taking him back out of the team, because their performances were absolutely outstanding. Now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's spot at right back is a given, so I don't need to go into that. We know Aaron Wan-Bissaka's quality, but Axel Tuanzebe has to start this game, whether it's alongside Lindelof again, whether it's alongside Harry Maguire. Axel Tuanzebe has to start this game. I'll say it again. Has to start this game, does Axel Tuanzebe. Because that performance, you can't take him out of the squad if he's fit. Simple as that. And the second player that I also had in mind in regards to that was Fred. Pastor Fred. He was immense against Paris Saint-Germain. Recovering the ball, interceptions, passing it, running it out of the from defence to midfield and taking it into the opposition's half before releasing the ball or winning free kicks. He was absolutely fantastic for Man United. Can't remember, he may have made a mistake or two, but nothing springs to mind when I think of Fred's performance. I thought McTominay was also pretty impressive next to him as well, but Fred really stood out for me. It was another immense performance from him. And we've seen that from him before against PSG. But we've seen it from him as well in big games. The Etihad, Manchester City when we beat them in the league. Big performance from him then. And we've seen him pull out these performances just when you possibly think Fred maybe not being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's thinking or in his mind. He pulls out a performance from somewhere in a big game at a big moment. And it was another one from Fred. And if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was thinking about pulling Fred out of this team, I think that was a performance that says you cannot do that. Now, whether Paul Pogba, Donny van de Beek come in, Matic comes in, not too sure. But for me, Fred has to start this game. He has to start this game. He was absolutely fantastic. And we'll see, Chelsea have got the likes of Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic can play in that midfield area. United need to be matching them up in that midfield area, getting someone in there who's going to have the energy, going to have the wherewithal, the enthusiasm, the interceptions, the tackles, the blocks. He's going to have all that. Obviously, again, it comes down to fitness. He put a lot in against Paris Saint-Germain, and with it coming so early into the season, obviously you could say, he might not be able to play this game, or he might not be able to start this game. But what a performance it was! Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, well done to Fred. Well done to Axel Tuanzebe as well. Absolute top quality performances. So I really like to see them in the starting 11. Giving a bit away of my starting 11, but we'll have that coming up later on in the show as well. Thank you to Jerome T. Green for his super chat. He says, "Hey Adam, always love the shows. We don't have Marshall or Greenwood in the team performing, and we have yet to have Cavani coming in. It's exciting times." And I was thinking about that the other day as well, Jerome. After that game against PSG, after that game against Newcastle, I was thinking we've scored 4 goals here today. No Martial, no Cavani, no Greenwood. That's all of our strikers, really, when you think about it. Igalo as well, but he was on the bench. I know Rashford, for me, he's a left forward. He can play up front, like we saw against PSG. But for me, he's a left forward. And yeah, we've got goals there. We've got firepower there. Anthony Martial, I'm not too worried about his performances. I know he can't play in this game, so it's kind of pointless talking about him. But I'll talk about him for a minute, in that I'm not too worried about his performances. For France, he was the same. He was contributing. He was getting. I know he scored a goal in one of the games, but he was contributing. He was getting involved. He was linking up play, winning penalties. He's doing that for United. It's just the goals ain't coming. The goals will come, and the goals will come. He had a good season last season, and I'm confident he'll back it up again and equal or better his tally from last season. Karen has gone early with prediction and says 2-1 win predictions. I'll give my prediction after I've given my team prediction as well. So make sure you're keeping it locked for that. You're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used his press conference to defend Mason Greenwood as well. He said he was missing because he had a niggling injury. And Ole hopes to see him back in action for Saturday's game. He also said that reports from the press were untrue in regards to his unprofessionalism, missing training, being late, etc. Ole said they weren't true. Fabrication by the media. So interesting to hear Ole come out with that. Interesting to see how he's handled it. Because if it is true, it means he's kept it behind closed doors, protected the player in the media. I like to see that. If it isn't true, it just shows you what the media are trying to do to Mason Greenwood after his mistake, let's call it what it is, whilst on international duty. So I'm glad to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming out and having a little bit of feistiness about him in defence of Mason Greenwood. I think in the club we have a great record and tradition and history of bringing our players through, he said. It means from early on they have good habits. We trust you. You can express yourself. Mason has come through this programme, has done a fantastic. He'll be kicking on, I'm sure. He's a very exciting boy to work with. He said that he was asked by the press, does he make himself a target, which I found a really weird question. And Ole said, Mason, well, you do when you play well. I'm not concerned at all of Mason making a target for himself because he's come in and done fantastic. He made his first league start against Tottenham last season and he's just kicked on. He made a mistake this summer with England, and suddenly the whole English press go after him. That's something we have to look after. He's a fantastic boy to work with. I have to disappoint you. He's never late for training. He's never a problem when he's on the training ground. He's always on time. He's always there when you call. Always on time. He gave you his all. I've seen some stories and even seen some ex-United players talking about him, and they don't really know what they're talking about. We've got photographers outside the training ground every day, so you can see that he's on time. I don't know where these stories come from, and I just have to say he has a good family around him, good background, and he's a good trainer. I can't believe all these stories with him not being professional. Anyway, that's something that we have to deal with. Many other players at United have had that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rallying behind his young star in the press conference. Absolutely loving that. 3-5-2 or 4-3-3 formation, says David. Rashford brace 2-0 United. Thank you for the super chat, David. Thank you for the super chat, Jerome T. Green. Make sure you're getting your super chats in. And Ihab says, loving the new kit. Actually, this isn't really a United kit. It's a Adidas and Pharrell Williams human wear collaboration where they've redesigned loads of Adidas clubs kits. United won't be wearing this kit. As you can see, there's no there's no actual United badge there, and there's no logo on it. So United won't actually be wearing the kit. It's just one of those benefits that we have of United being an Adidas team, that Adidas occasionally release some smart gear like this, which is based on the 80s retro United kit. So yeah. Shout out Pro Direct Soccer for sending me this as well. Yes, man, he plays. At least you got it. Palistri's just playing now, says Petter Home. Let's have a look at the score while we're keeping it up to date. Thank you for tuning in as well. We'll go to my team news soon. So make sure you're keeping it locked for that. It's 0-0 between Man United and Everton's under 23s. And in the lineups, we have Masney in goal, Teran Mengi, Fish, and Rojo. Then we have Williams, Galbraith, and Fernandez. Then we have Medjbury, Sharatire, Elanga, and Palistri wearing the number 10 shirt for Manchester United's under 23s, as it's 0-0 currently, 19 minutes into the game. It was a 7 o'clock kickoff. I haven't got MUTV, but I believe it's on MUTV, or you can just find a stream for it somewhere when we're finished here. But anyway, let's move on to my 11 for this game. I'm going to briefly be covered, but I will shift my face as soon as possible. This is my 11. There we go. What do you guys think about my 11? I've gone for back to the 4-2-3-1. Personally, I would pick Alex Telles, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's not going to pick Alex Telles. I think we're going to see Luke Shaw start, Tuanzebe, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. That's what I think the back four is going to be. I would want Telles to start. I hope Ole proves me wrong and starts Alex Telles. So don't kill me in the comments. Are you listening to what I'm saying? I would start Alex Telles, but I think Luke Shaw is going to start. Tuanzebe, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. Then I've gone with Fred, Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Rashford, and Cavani. That's the team that I've gone with for this game against Chelsea. I think Cavani, he's looked fit, he's looked ready to go, he's come in, he looks. I'm not saying, obviously, I'm not privy to sitting in Carrington and watching all the training sessions, but he looks like he's ready to go. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer spoke quite positively of him today. I think he could be involved in this game from the start. I think we'll definitely see him anyway. Few comments on my predicted team. So here are some of your thoughts. Dragon says, I'll go with a 4-4-2 diamond. David says, wow, look at that team. Telles will play. He only played 60 minutes, says Ramil. That's a good point that I kind of forgot about when I picked my team. Syed likes the lineup, says this is some lineup. Ramil says Tuanzebe will be rested. Dirty Diamonds thinks Shaw should never start for United at left back, except as left centre back. Telles should, and I believe will, start. I hope you're right. Lindelof played well, says Ramil. I agree with that, but I just feel Maguire will come back in if he's ready. And Axel Tuanzebe, I think, deserves to start. Wouldn't be surprised to see Maguire and Lindelof starting though. As Ramil says, it could be redemption. Sam Scholes literally just says, Alex, tell us in the comments, which I like as well. I get the feeling Ollie will play Lindelof ahead of Tuanzebe, says Ross. It's not a bad idea, taking it slowly a little bit, but I'd go get him in the team, will ya? Just get him in the team. I think he deserves to start and keep that momentum going. I'm sure he would want to do that. Look at that. Can I just... Oh, look at that. Looks like my shirt's got the old school United badge on it. Nice. Ah, shit. It's me just, I don't know, randomly doing stupid shit. But here we go anyway. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. My score prediction for this game. I think there's going to be goals. I'm on the kickoff with Rory as well. I think there's going to be goals. See, with Chelsea, what you've got to fear out is when United attacking, and actually I wouldn't be surprised to see us go with that back three again. I predicted it right against PSG, by the way, didn't I? The only thing I got wrong in my team selection against PSG was the midfield two. I selected Matic and Pogba. Ollie selected Fred and McTominay. He made the right decision, but I got the team bang on, and you can go and check the PSG preview back if you want. But we could go with that formation again. I just think we're going to go back to the 4-2-3-1. I do. Side says, what about Van der Beek? Ollie spoke about him today. He said he's just taking his time with embedding him in a little bit slowly. I've got no problem with that. It's a long season, do you know what I mean? It's a long season. Wouldn't even be surprised to see him start this game, but I just think we might go for our tried and tested. It's important that we get a win in this game. It's really important that we get a win. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling about that one. Chelsea, man. They're a weird one. They've got talent going forward. We know that. But defensively, you can get at them. And we need to do that. If we're leaving players up the field, we can get got at. We know that. And that's what Tuanzebe was good at, recovering the ball, getting across quickly. And that's why I think he should start this game. His speed, his quickness, his awareness, solid. Aaron Wan-Bissaka alongside him as well. I like they make a good partnership. So, yeah, man. My prediction's 3-2 United, or 3-1 United. That's my prediction for this game. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it locked. You like and comment and sharing and subscribing. As I said, I'm on the kickoff, so I'll have a review up on here. We'll have myself and Rory as well. We'll have loads of stuff going out on Stretford Paddock. So make sure you're keeping it locked to all that good stuff over the weekend. For now though, I have been Adam McKola. If you want more content, then the video is up already for the Weekly United. You can go and check that one out as well. But for now, this has been the Chelsea Man United preview. Let me read out some of your predictions before I go. Glenn says it's going to be 4-2 or 5-2. Blackshart says we should go with the back three. Bernal Dean says 3-1. Lord Ed Woodward says 2-2. Lord Ed Woodward, what the fuck kind of name is that? With the midfield diamonds. 5-0 says Jacob. We should win 2-0 says Ramil. Gabriel Tango Quellar says 5-4 United. Dirty Diamond says 4-2. I'd say we win 4-2. United games are high scoring though, indeed. 3-1 seems safer. Glenn's still going with his 4-2 or 5-2. And those are some of your predictions. Backshar going 3-2. David going 2-1. And I am going 3-1 to Manchester United. Thank you for tuning in. You've all been absolute legends. I've been Adam McKola. I'm out of here.